Hi everyone. I want to introduce you to Erika Stotts Pearson. She's running for Congress in the 8th Congressional District, and I've just agreed to sign on as her campaign chairwoman. One of the questions that I've got for Erika today that I think is super important for my friends and my colleagues who live in Germantown, Collierville, and that area of the 8th is about socialism. I'm working my tail off. I've got 2 jobs in 2 cities with 2 kids I'm trying to raise as a single mom. And I don't want to hear that my money might be going out of my pocket to someplace I don't want it to go. What do you have to say, Erika, about your position on socialism and what's going on in Washington?
When we look at the spectrum, you have democracy on one end and you have socialism on the other, which is more close to the communism side. And then, of course, we have the democratic socialism that's supposed to fit right in the middle. When we talk about socialism, we're talking about, are companies government controlled, or do we have a capitalistic free market society? And we do know that in a free market society, it helps us because, for one, competitors come to the table for whatever product we need or service or whatever they're creating, and it allows us to be able to have the best quality of something that's affordable. And it raises the level of the standards across the board. But what we're finding in Bernie's group, they're talking about the fight for 15. But as I talk to people in my district, which consists of 15 counties, so you've got some of the wealthiest parts of the county in Collierville and Germantown, but then we've got farm areas up through Brownsville and Dyersburg and other areas. So all of the issues are different. And we want to see how we can meet in the middle, because we don't want to jeopardize the Collierville, Germantown base. Those are most of the people who are developers and business owners that some of the other people on the other side of the district end up working for. And when I had little mini meetings with the business owners, they said, look, it's not like I don't want to pay them $15 an hour or that I don't want to offer them quality health care, but if it gets pushed to 15, then I won't be able to have as many employees. We have to look at making sure we have parity in the system, because we need small business owners who grow into big giants, i.e. FedEx started with 6 planes and now they're $1 billion company. And we want to foster that growth because that's what the federal government does. So we need to pour into small businesses, maybe offer them some of the same tax breaks as big companies so that they can, be competitive, and maybe give them some federal dollars to kind of build up their coffers a little bit, because we need them. A city is only considered healthy by its small businesses. And that's one thing I'm talking to Mayor Strickland about on a weekly basis, because we want to make sure that those businesses are growing. Well, COVID-19 impacted businesses. So think about getting a business off the ground, and healthcare is one of the main industries that everybody is going into, home health. And right when you get everybody hired and all this, then COVID hits.
Yeah, it's been hard for everybody.
Right, and do we get the stimulus or not get the stimulus? It's all these things going on in our head. And we need to make sure that we send leadership to Washington who's been in the position, who understands, because I don't plan to stay a small business owner forever. My mentors were people who grew Columbia HCA into the big concern that it is. And I remember when they were starting those things. So I'm the same way. I want to successfully grow my business, employ people, gainfully employ them, but we still have to keep parity in the market, because I can't, for instance, pay somebody $35 an hour when it's a $9 an hour position, but I can somewhere get maybe in that 15 range or whatever, but it's still based on your skill sets, right?
Sense.
And the market where you are.
Right.
And so we keep pushing, but it's like, well, we can't push the business owners out. We have to come to the table and meet in the middle to help them, because they want to offer quality health care, right? But health care for all isn't realistic. Because when we look at other countries like Canada and Denmark that offer health care for all, what we're finding is longer wait times. People aren't getting the services that they need. They still have to have, 65% in Canada have supplemental insurance. So if health care for all is this magic bullet, then why are we seeing all of these other things go wrong with it? For instance, even when we talk about competition, right now we're trying to find the vaccine for COVID. And so it's so poignant right now. If we only had one company trying to find the vaccine, then we know it's going to be very, very expensive. But with all of these companies, that's why we say we want single payer healthcare, which means the dollar follows the patient. Not a rubric, because guess what we're doing? When I talk to the medical community, they're upset